Hello, I'm Michael Palin, and it's really nice to have the chance to tell you about my new novel, which is called The Truth. The Truth is a story about a man called Keith Mabbut. He's an idealist, he's a writer, and life has dealt him a pretty poor hand. His marriage is breaking up, he only gets commissions to do company booklets and all that sort of thing. And out of the blue comes a commission to write a book about someone he truly admires, who the whole world admires, a sort of roaming environmentalist who goes around the world in hotspots trying to sort out problems involving local tribes, involving the intrusion of commercial interests in areas where local people are living. Anyway, someone who is a model, really, of how we should live. And he can't understand why he's got this, but he goes through with it. He writes the book, and it absolutely comes up to everything he'd hoped for. This man is a real model. Seems to change his life, makes him happier, makes him realise he's done something at last which is good, bringing to the attention of the world the activities of such a great man. The problem begins when he delivers the book. The publishers don't like it. They think it's well written, but it's not controversial enough. There's no dark side, and it's the dark side that sells books. No one wants to read a book about a nice man doing nice things, doing good things. He's missed the point. And from this point onwards, his life changes as he pursues the truth, and it takes him into some very dark and strange areas. I thought of the story of The Truth about 3 years ago, and it came almost sort of complete. I was walking, oddly enough, I was walking through Soho at the time. I remember the street, it was just off Water Street. And I'd, for a long time, been concerned about the way the word the truth or the right way or whatever was appropriated by people in public life, either politicians or companies. It was always somebody lying, somebody telling the truth, somebody not telling the truth. And it was almost as though this was being appropriated for all the wrong reasons, as though there was a perfect way, which if they got it, you've got it. If you haven't got it, you haven't got it. And I felt this was deceitful, and it was missing something. So I wanted to write a story which was about the truth and about how elusive the truth is, because when you actually pin it down, it's very difficult to know who was right in a situation, who was wrong, why they were right, why they were wrong. I mean, obviously there are certain areas where you can tell what the truth is. It's the opposite of a lie, but when it gets into that subjective area of what people want to say and what people believe others want to say, then it becomes difficult. And I just didn't like the way people were saying, we are telling the truth, you're not. So I wanted to write a novel that reflected this, but I didn't want it to be a heavy novel. I wanted it to be something that would be entertaining, that would zip along, almost be a kind of thriller. And the story of Keith Mabbut and how he gets involved with Hamish Melville, the great environmentalist, and what happens to him when he does, as I say, came to me quite quickly. What I wanted to do was, in an entertaining way, develop this whole idea of what is the truth. And for that reason, I sort of needed a man to guide through the story, a man to take me through the story, and that was this man, Keith Mabbut, I created. I didn't like him entirely, you know, I would have done things differently from him, but he takes me through the story, his ideals, his feeling that there is a truth out there that can be encapsulated by him as a writer, as a journalist, or whatever. I wanted him to be convincing, so I filled out his story and his background. And also, I needed the central figure. Who was this hero? What kind of hero was it? And because I knew a certain amount about the environmental movement and about what was going on in the world and the various problem areas where, especially in countries where there were indigenous peoples, people who've lived there for thousands of years, were being pushed off their land in order to mine gold or iron ore or whatever it was that the country needed to export. So there was a lot of, I felt, injustice going on there, and I would make the man someone battling for justice for these people. And that's how Hamish Melville was created. And I like Hamish because he's quite fun. He's over 70 and doesn't care a damn about the world, and that's why people admire him. But he's very energetic, he's very effective, he's a good leader, he has great ideas. Mabbut is just swept along by this man, and he's not po-faced a good man in any shape or form. You know, you can see that he swears, he smokes. I mean, he has all the little small weaknesses we all have. But there is something about this charismatic man that that Keith just absolutely falls for, and it carries through the middle part of the book. And it's when all these things seem so clear, and the relationship seems so clear, and it seems to have lifted Keith out of this morass of the middle part of his life where everything's going wrong, that for a moment the clouds open, the sun shines, and Mabbut thinks, this is what life's about, there is a right way. And of course that's when I think the most interesting part of the story begins. You suddenly realise it's not as easy as that. I wanted to tell a story through interesting characters. I want the story to be told quite fast. I want it to be entertaining. I didn't want it to be too heavy, but in the end I wanted to show that the truth isn't something there that appears on a white charger. It's actually serpentine, difficult, elusive, leads you in different ways. It's very, very hard to pin down, and it can destroy life. The pursuit of truth can destroy someone's life or change someone's life. The pursuit of truth can change someone's life forever.